Oh. If you have questions for the tax assessor, please write them down and give them to the gentleman here in the blue. Okay. All right. I think we will start with the opening statement. We'll have everyone give their opening statement first. We'll start with Mr. Ernesto Castro.
Thank you for the invitation to address this neighborhood association. My name is Ernesto Castro. I'm running for a tax assessor-collector. I'm running on my experience and my tenure in the tax office. I worked for 30 years in the tax office. The last 14 years, I was the chief deputy of operations. I was in charge of the daily operations for the tax office. I'm running on a platform to, first of all, lobby the legislature to get the tax assessor-collector a vote on the Bear Appraisal District Board. In my communications with people, I hear a lot about the Bear Appraisal District. People tend to confuse the business that the appraisal district does with the business that the tax office does. If the tax assessor-collector had a vote, they would be more amenable to suggestions as to what happens across the street and what happens when the tax bills come out to the taxpayers. I have been previously certified through the state and registered as a Texas assessor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Castro. Mr. Ponce?
Good evening. I have 30 years involvement in the community, 17 as a county government employee where I helped to put together the family violence courts, supervised the 10 county courts for over a year, helping to put together programs to protected people. I would also actually like to go ahead and in the role of the tax assessor, protect senior citizens from losing their homes that have worked all their lives to give a home to their child and end up losing it because they cannot any longer pay their taxes. So I would actually like to work with lawmakers to make sure that the seniors, parents or grandparents do not lose their home because they were not able to pay their taxes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ponce. Mr. Uresti?
Thank you. My name's Albert Uresti, and I'm running for Bexar County Tax Assessor. I'd love very much to have your vote and your support. I'm running for 3 reasons. I'm running, first of all, because I feel I have the qualifications. I have a master's degree in public administration. I've been a city manager, and I've been assistant city manager. Second reason I'm running is because I want to build on the things that, I know that Sylvia's been there for many years. I want to build on what she's done. Like any organization, there's always room for improvement, and I have changes that I want to implement, things that I want to do that improves the service there at the tax assessor's office. And thirdly, the main reason I am running is because I care. I care about the people, I care about our veterans, I care about our disabled, and I care about our senior citizens. I want to work on trying to figure out ways to prevent people from losing their homes. Too many people are losing their homes, especially our senior citizens. That is going to be my #1 goal, is to try to keep people in their homes and figure out ways that we can make payments easier and make it more flexible. And I also want to do things that will provide more convenience and more customer service for the Bexar County. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Uresti. Mr. Arzola?
My name is Jose Arzola, Jose Pablo Arzola. I'm a candidate for the Bexar County Tax Assessor's Office on the Democratic side. I'm running just like Mr. Uresti because I'm qualified. But my commitment is beyond what everyone talks about about the tax assessor office, and that is a business. It's revenue generating. It's beyond that. It's beyond dollars and signs. Bottom line, I know about inflows, I know about outflows. It's about customer service. It's about customer service, giving back to your people. I was taught very little growing up around Immaculate Heart of Mary to always give back to your community and service, always service. I served 20 years in the Navy. I retired as the Chief Petty Officer, and I would not have attained that rank of Chief Petty Officer if I have not displayed those qualifications: leadership skills, communication skills, and tenacity. I hold a master's degree from UTSA. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Stovall?
Good afternoon. My name is Robert Stovall. I'm a Republican for the Bexar County Tax Assessor-Collector, and I've been to a few of these forums, but today I'm outnumbered. I'm a seventh-generation Texan, businessman in Texas for 29 years. I've been married to my wife for 29 years and 3 children that are grown. I have a son that just returned back from Afghanistan that's in the Army. It is time that I want to give back to the community. This is a very important job. It's, as Bexar County continues to grow, and it will grow with these years to come, it's going to make this job even more a bigger job for whoever runs this office. I have many ideas that will improve this office. Obviously, being a business, customer service is number one. Giving senior citizens an opportunity to pay 12 months at a time on their payment plan, and a payment property deferment program that has been highly recognized and looked at. It's a legislative deal, but if commercial companies are able to do this, we can do it also. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Diaz?
Good afternoon. My name is Ralph Diaz. I'm on the Democratic ticket for the office. Let me start off by a quick story. I was with my niece this weekend, and she asked me, what position are you running for? She's 4 years old. And I told her for tax office. And with all of the seriousness a 4-year-old could muster, she told me, you're the bad guy on the Robin Hood movies for Walt Disney. So I guess that leads me to say that the office is usually looked at as a very negative office where you go and you pay things. Well, what I want to do is make sure that we bridge the office with the community. So not only do we optimize the level of service that we give our customers, but we're also offering different programs and informing them of where their tax dollars are going. So having like a community information kiosk at these offices, ensuring that they know where their money's going. That when they walk out knowing that they paid for their vehicle registration, property taxes, they can also know that this weekend we're having some sort of program or festival that they can take advantage of. Additionally, I'd like to ensure that we analyze and optimize the office to make sure that we keep costs low. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, now the question from the audience, and we'll begin with Mr. Ponce. This time ask a question. What experience or experiences will you bring or do you have in collecting property taxes and registering motor vehicles?
Okay. Well, my experience comes with the 17 years of county government. Well, actually, like I supervised for a period of a year 10 county courts and their budgets. I have never worked with the tax assessor's office, but I know that I always excel in every job I do and would be able to work with the community in any special need that there would be. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Uresti?
As a city manager, I dealt a lot with budgets, dealt a lot with taxes, developed a lot of budgets, worked through audits, dealt with tax revenues and tax expenditures. You have to work with the tax assessor. You have to have the experience. We did a lot in order to collect our taxes. The entire budget is based on the collection of taxes, so you have to know where your money's coming from, and you have to spend accordingly. As far as registering vehicles, we've had fleets. We've dealt with that. I mean, registering vehicles, and I think all of us have bought a car, and we've all had to go and register our vehicles. So that's something that's rather easy to handle. But again, I think the important part is knowing how to manage tax revenues and tax expenditures, and I have a lot of experience with that, and also in the development of the budgets. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Arzola? Yes. What experience or experiences will you be bringing or do you have in collecting property taxes and registering motor vehicles?
As far as collecting taxes, as far as registering motor vehicles, I have no experience whatsoever. But that does not make me not qualified. I do have qualifications to review up and down an organization. When I first joined the Navy, I didn't know anything about a ship. But I spent 20 years in the Navy, and I rose to the rank of Chief Petty Officer, and I'm a quick learner. I learn very quick, so it won't take me long to learn the full function of the Bexar County Tax Assessor's Office.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Arzola. Mr. Stovall?
I have not worked in the tax office at all, but as Chief Financial Officer of our company, we run a fleet of vehicles from Central and South Texas to the coast. This is an important office in the fact that what I have had is to write the checks to Sylvia Romo every time we register our vehicles. But and standing in line as well, as many of us do. We spend more time visiting that tax office than we do down at the courthouse. I have experienced purchasing the license plates online. One of the items that I have is to actually have you create an online account, and that way you can have all your properties and your vehicles under one roof, or as you sign on, and you can monitor those yourself. And I think that is an important aspect that I can bring to this office as far as getting everything tightened up, making it a lot more user-friendly for the taxpayers of Bexar County.
Thank you. Mr. Diaz?
The experience that I bring to this office is that, I have the proper analytical thought process. I liken this position to the mayor. For example, the mayor doesn't know exactly how to pave a street. However, he knows how to give the proper direction and ensure that the procedures are met and that good policy is followed to do so. So that's what I'm bringing. My background in my professional career has been working with city council with 3 different council members. After that, I was asked to start teaching, where I teach in a local college here, a variety of classes. So the experience that I'm bringing is both from a professional standpoint, where I know how to look at programs and ensure that we have the proper efficiencies and look at things analytically, and as also a community member who knows that there are some issues that could be addressed. The office runs great now, however, there's always room for improvement, and I think that the programs and the steps and the ideas that I'm bringing forward can definitely help in that. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Castro?
Well, I am the only candidate that brings experience to this table. I worked for the tax office for 30 years. I worked under 3 tax assessor-collectors. I learned what to do. I also learned what not to do. I was certified through the state of Texas as a certified tax administrator. I was a registered Texas assessor through the state. I was a manager for motor vehicle registration for 16 years prior to being the chief deputy of operations. So I do have that knowledge. I do have that experience. I know how to work with the taxing jurisdictions. There are 51 taxing jurisdictions that we collect for, we account for the money, and we disperse it. When you're talking about a $2 billion organization, that is something that is very crucial and very important. I also sat on the Texas Liaison Committee for the registration and titling service, so I do have familiarity with collection of motor vehicle sales and use tax. Thank you.
Thank you. One more question. You'll have 1 minute also, and we'll start with Mr. Uresti. What is the #1 detail or issue you wish to accomplish if you are elected to this office?
I think, as I mentioned earlier, I think the #1 issue is to address the issues of people losing their homes. Right now, as you know, senior citizens can make 4 payments a year. The average citizen can make 2 payments a year. We need to look at ways that we can have monthly payments. This is the year 2012. And I know it's a lot of work, but somewhere there's got to be a way to do this. And I'm going to dedicate myself to doing that in order to make it easier. Also want to extend the hours. Right now there's only 1 evening open at the downtown office. I will have all 5 offices open 1 day late per week, and I will be open the last Saturday of every month. I think that's very important in order for us to become more customer oriented. The final issue that I think that we need to address is right now you cannot make a payment with a credit card if you wait in line. And I know this firsthand because I waited in line and then found out I couldn't make the payment. You can do it online, and there's no reason that we can't do that. So that's another improvement that I would make towards customer orientation for the tax office. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Arzola?
Like Mr. Uresti said, my number one issue would be to address the foreclosure rate. I'm very concerned about the high foreclosure rates. One is too many. Number two would be service. Number three would be to eliminate duplicity, overlapping of services. Then, of course, extended hours, providing better service, and also career development. But number one would be addressing the foreclosure rate.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Arzola. Mr. Stovall?
Well, as a businessman, my number one objective in this office would make it as easy as possible for the customer to access this office, have more knowledge about the office. Look, as we continue to progress in the electronic age and the digital age, we need to make it easier. We don't like standing in line. We need to make it easier for you to do your process, whether you're at home, on the road, or if you want to come in the office and you need to take care of something to make it seamless. That's my goal. It's always my goal as a businessman and running a business is, how do I make it easier for that customer to come in? How do I make it easier for that customer so that they're going to want to come back, or if they want to just do something on, just do their business online? And that would be the ultimate goal, besides making a tight, efficient office. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Diaz?
The population of the county is growing, and we know that from the last census. And we're having to manage the same amount of services to all of these individuals with the same amount of dollars almost. We're not seeing a very large increase in our funds. So my first priority is to identify cost savings. You take a step back and you analyze everything, every department, every process, to ensure that it's optimized. By doing so, you're taking part in keeping taxes lower. I certainly don't want to go in there and then make all these drastic changes at your cost, your dollars. So identify those things. From then on, then start implementing very simple yet effective customer service processes. Like I told you, the community communications kiosk, you go in there, you're paying your things off, and you get to see if the city's holding some sort of free spay neuter, free vaccinations, things of that nature. You take a look at the IT on the website, ensuring that it's very easy to follow, and then giving people the opportunity to catch up with their delinquent taxes and make their payments in a very easy way.
Thank you. Mr. Castro?
My platform is very simple. It's a question of extending or expanding the community outreach program. The reason for this is I want to make sure that the community is aware of the options that are available to them. A lot of this misinformation that there are no monthly payments available. There is an escrow account that you can open. It's been on the books since 1989. You can go to the tax office, request an escrow payment to pay monthly. People who are over 65, veterans, and disabled people who qualify for an exemption from the Bear Appraisal District will not lose their house. As long as they qualify for the exemption, there is nothing that will cause a foreclosure on their house. What happens is when these people that have the exemptions are no longer here, if they either pass or if they sell the property, then it becomes due at the full rate. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ponce?
And can you repeat the question, please?
What is the number one detail or issue, important thing that you would wish to accomplish if you're elected to this office?
Okay. I've been involved with the community for over 30 years, and through the last 30 years, I've seen time and time again where people have lost their homes, maybe at the time of death, but they lose their homes if they did not pay their taxes, but yet they worked their whole life to buy a home to leave it to their children. So my number one issue would be to help people protect their homes, whether it's for themselves or for their children. But maybe if we need to do something to create a law to make sure that this doesn't happen, but also where counseling probably is involved, so to make sure that these people are totally aware of everything that is available to them and to make sure that their home is left to their children like they intended to when they first bought it 30 years ago. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now, the 1-minute closing statement, and we'll begin with Mr. Arzola.
Again, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to us. As you heard, we all have basically the same priorities and almost the same background. But if you want something different in the sense of leadership, in the sense of compassion, someone who will bring compassion and will look beyond the profit and loss statements, that will look beyond the debits and credits, that will look beyond the revenue and expenses, then please, I ask for your vote, for your support. I am proud to have served this country. I have paid my dues, and I've also continued to serve the community. I want to serve you. And like Lloyd Doggett said, I'm here asking for a job, and as you all know, your best bet is to hire a vet, and I'm the only veteran up here. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Stovall?
Well, thank you for having us. My name is Robert Stovall. This is an important job, folks. It takes in close to $3 billion of your tax dollars. It's got a $10 million budget. You are looking to hire someone for $40 million for the next 4 years. You want executive experience. You want someone that manages from the top down, that understands what it takes to run an office and run a business. This is how I look at this. Customer service is going to be number one. It's going to be most important because that is what every one of us think about when we go in that office is how am I going to be treated or how easy is it going to be to get in and out of there. That is my goal. This is what I have to offer you, and I would appreciate your vote. If we started voting today, I appreciate for that early vote. If not, May 29th. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Diaz?
First off, thank you for having me here today. It's a very humbling experience, actually, to be part of this process. And let me close with this. What I'm offering here is a very clear vision of what I want to do with this office. Although we all talk about some of the same aspects of it, I've set out a very clear vision with benchmarks to hit. Procedural knowledge is great, but that's only one part of a leader. Having the vision, having the passion, having the resources to do so, having the political knowledge to navigate this field is also needed. So, I humbly ask for your support, Ralph Diaz, and I will be in the back if anybody wants to chat. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Castro?
Again, thank you for the invitation to address the Neighborhood Association. I can only say I have 30 years experience, 14 years as the Chief Deputy of Operation. I am job ready. I know where there is money to be collected. With a 2% delinquency rate, 98% is not bad, but we can even bring it down further. Again, this is a business. It is a business organization that needs to be run properly, and I have the knowledge of the infrastructure, and I know how to deal with the taxing jurisdictions that we've collected for. I ask for your vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ponce?
My name is Ponce, Gerard Ponce. I would also like to thank all of you all for having us here today, but also with the Tax Assessor's Office. Since I've been involved in the community for over 30 years, I'm actually a very active community-involved person, not only here locally, but throughout Texas, working with schools in the anti-bullying program for children. And I would also try to utilize that tax office as a training program for underprivileged kids to try to help put them on a career path where they might work there and then work with a Valero and help them move on to a job, and with possibly them helping them with college. So I would actually like to use that not only as an office where we need to work as a community for the tax collections, but also to help youth in Bexar County. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Uresti?
Thank you. Thank you all for being here today. Just want to say that I'm the only one that's running that has been the chief executive. Been in public service for over 30 years. Being number 2 or 3 or 4 in an organization of this magnitude is a whole lot different than being number 1. And I have been that person just as Ms. Sylvia Romo has been the person in charge. So I bring that to the table. I also bring a long list of endorsements. I have Senator Leticia Vandepute. I have State Representative Jose Menendez, State Representative Roland Gutierrez. I also have State Representative Joaquin Castro. I've been working on my brother Carlos, but man, he's been hard to get him to endorse me, but I am working on him, so he'll be coming around sometime soon. But seriously, you know, I bring the education. I have a master's degree in public administration. I have the experience of managed 300 employees. I know that I can do a good job, and I also have the compassion for this job. I thank you.
Thank you. And thank you to all the candidates for tax assessor. Thank you.